Good evening, or night, or morning, whenever you're watching this. You know what we're playing, you see the title, you know how far you're in, you see the number. Let's get to it. Oh, I got some main story stuff right now.
I was just thinking of calling you, Yagamishi. I heard Kaito-san got stabbed at Siren.
Is that true, Yakami-san? What the hell happened?
Look, I promise I'll fill you in, but right now I really need Tsukumo's help.
With what?
I found a USB drive at Kawana's hideout. It was disguised to look like a lighter. We have to know what's on it.
So, Kaito-san was attacked by that Soma guy too?
Yeah, while we were chasing Kawana, Soma popped up and got him right in the gut. Almost got me too, to be honest.
You're saying one guy almost single-handedly took down the Yagami Detective Agency?
It's true. And right after, I got a call from Kawana's purported relative, who wanted me to hand over the flash drive. Apparently, what's on it will tell us Kawana's true identity and goal.
When I open it, all I see is one data file.
Of what?
It's a video. I'll hit play once you guys are all ready. You good?
Damn, what's on there? I can't take the suspense.
Koana went to great lengths to keep this video secret. What are we about to see?
Let's make it full screen.
Totally ate shit! Dumbass, so did I. Come on, Mitsuru. Quit being a little bitch. I told you to take it in the face! Alright, let's do it over again, okay? Suzuki, make sure you're getting this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna really fucking nail him this time.
Smile. Ready when you are.
Hey, get your ass back! Mitsuru! What did I just say about being a bitch? You asked for it. I'm gonna have to punish ya. Punishment! Punishment! Let's hear the punishment song, everybody! Punishment! Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Mitsuru Construction! Stop! You little shit, did you just kick me? Huh? Too late to get tough now, Mitsuru. Show us what you got.
Don't struggle now. We want to see. We gotta get this all on camera. Aw, isn't this just the most pathetic sight?
Oh shit, he's pissing himself!
Ew, that's so nasty.
Disgusting! Oh, look at this shit!
These little shits are the worst.
One of them said something about Mitsuru Kusumoto stripping?
Yeah, he was Sawa Sensei's classmate. 13 years ago, he jumped off the roof of Kurokawa Academy.
He's Reiko Kusumoto's son, right? Vice Minister of the Health Ministry? 30 years old and still in a coma. It seems we've stumbled on private video footage of Mitsuru Kusumoto being bullied.
And it was on Kawana-san's secret flash drive? Why would he have this?
I don't know. But his uncle said it's our lead to Kawana's real identity and motivation.
Huh. Just a moment. This frame gives us a good look at the key players' faces. Why don't we try gleaning what we can from it?
Sounds good. Let's dig in.
Oh, it was dialogue
Suspicious.
unnecessary. Despite jumping off its school's roof 13 years ago, Mitsuru Kusumoto's still clinging to life.
I feel bad for Mitsuru-kun. No one helped him, even with everything he was going through.
13 years ago, his mother was still just some nobody working at the Ministry of Health. She seems to have split with her husband and looks after her son on her own now. I don't know all the details, though.
Hey, crazy theory, but what if this husband she left was actually Kuwana-san? And maybe he recorded this to secretly check on his son.
No, Kawana doesn't look like he could have a 30-year-old kid. Let's look for other possibilities. Hey,
This bigger guy's acting like the main bully. I've seen this face
If
before.
I'm not mistaken, Shinya Kawai was the bully whose name got out to the public.
yeah. RK was hunting for him in Kamurocho pretty recently, too. I have no doubt the guy in the picture they showed me is the same guy in this video. Once RK came to the conclusion Kawai had been murdered, they came here to Ijincho, hunting down Kawana for whatever reason.
Did Sawa Sensei get mixed up on all of this because of Kawai's case? No, I can't see a connection there yet. If we learn more about Kawana or his past, I'm sure I can make some sense out of this.
What the? This girl recording the bullying on her cell phone.
Someone said her name in the video. Suzuki.
There's another familiar face. So it all comes circling back to her, huh?
Right. This Suzuki girl has a different name now.
Suzuki is just her maiden name. 13 years ago, her name changed too. Oh. Man, that's unfair for English readers, man.
Reiko Kusumoto.
You're thinking of Mitsuru-kun's mother, aren't you? Did you forget we're talking about the girl who's in the video?
Yeah, you messed that up.
But relax. Let's refocus and take it from the top.
I messed that up, didn't I? Yoko Sawa.
Over the course of our investigation, we did learn Sawa-sensei was in their class. So if she were in the video, it wouldn't be that surprising. However, we have no evidence that her name was Suzuki back then.
Sharp as ever, Tsukumo. I see I was off with that one. Yui Mamiya, the victim in the Ahara harassment case. Suzuki was her last name before getting married. Sawa-sensei also told me that Mitsuru Kusumoto and Mamiya were classmates 13 years ago.
Yep. So we're looking at Yui Mamiya in high school.
Mamiya-san, huh? What's she like underneath it all?
Originally, word got around that Shinya Kawai was the one bullying Mitsuru Kusumoto. After watching this, though, the truth of the matter doesn't quite line up. There were really about 10 bullies involved at the time, and Yui Mamiya was one of them.
Yeah. If this video got leaked, Mamiya and the other students in it would be in deep shit. They're living out their lives like nothing happened, despite being the ones who drove a kid into a coma. If word got out, they'd be crucified by the public. Their jobs, their families, their lives would all change for the worse. Uh-huh. Hey, this guy's face is familiar somehow.
Oh, I don't think I've seen him.
I don't know him either. Who is he?
I think I remember him. I saw him at the crime scene where Mikoshiba's body was. He was with more Kurokawa grads. He showed his ID to the Kanagawa detective. I think his name was Akaike.
That gives us an interesting perspective, doesn't it? All the people in this bullying video seem to keep popping up around our case.
Yeah. But the real question is, why was Kawana the one with the video? Uh-huh. What the?
2009-17 must be the date in school year terms. They probably just finished the summer break.
September 17th, 13 years ago. It's past 4 p.m., so this would be after school.
Oh, wait, this is...
Got something?
I just cross-referenced the date Mitsuru Kusumoto jumped. September 17th.
Oh shit.
That can only mean this video was recorded very shortly before his suicide attempt.
So this video captures the crucial instance of bullying that drove Mitsuru Kusumoto to attempt suicide.
The video may have provided some interesting connections, but we still don't have that crucial link. The link being the reason Kawana-san came to possess this, of course.
Right. Kawana's either the one who recorded it himself, or is at least a recipient of the video from the original witness.
Kawana-san and Sawa-sensei knew each other somehow, right? Well, then, maybe Sawa-sensei recorded it 13 years ago, and then had Kawana-san look into it, as one of his handyman requests.
It's possible, but it just feels off.
Why's that?
Because of what Siren's owner said to me.
Okay.
You'll understand once you see what's on the lighter. Both Kawana-kun's past and his purpose.
He said we'll know Kawana's true identity once we watch the video. But that hasn't been the case so far.
What identity could we draw from a secret recording of some bullies?
Assuming Kawana's in his early 40s, he would have been about 13 years ago. What if he was a school teacher of the students in the video?
In that case, we should consult the yearbook Segura-shi brought back. The one that was in Sawa-sensei's room? You still have yet to look through it.
That's right. Let me go get it.
The way you're talking, I assume you've already taken a peek?
We have, but unfortunately we didn't find Kawana-san's face among the teachers.
This is the page for Mitsuru Kusumoto's class. Both Sawa-sensei and Mamiya are there too.
So the homeroom teacher was... this guy.
Apparently he witnessed bullies harassing Mitsuru multiple times, yet he would overlook it. All he did was smile and tell them not to overdo it.
It's not Kawana. This is someone else.
We checked the rest of the teachers too, but never spotted Kawana-san.
Mitsuru Kusumoto. This picture doesn't look like it was shot for a yearbook.
Correct. He was most likely already in a coma when photo time rolled around.
Mitsuru Kusumoto attempted suicide in September, so the other photos here must have been taken after that. Actually, with that in mind, I can tell just how forced their smiles are in these pictures.
Sawa-sensei isn't smiling at all in this.
Huh. She did mention she blew off her class reunion. In fact, she hadn't kept in touch with her classmates at all.
No surprise there. Mitsuru-kun would be bound to come up at some point.
This is Yui Suzuki. She's definitely one of the girls in the video.
Yet another classmate involved with Mitsuru Kusumoto.
Seems like a bunch of the students on this page were in the video, huh?
Yeah, but I can't find Shinya Kawai in here.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. He's not in there.
If I'm not mistaken, Kawai left the school once he started catching flack for being Mitsuru-kun's bully. At least, that's what I read online. No real evidence yet, but it definitely sounds like how it would have played out.
But the truth is, there were more bullies who should have seen consequences besides Kawai.
Let's look at this yearbook a bit more. Does anything stick out as strange?
Suspicious. What the?
The homeroom teacher at the time just looked the other way, telling them not to overdo it. I know that thanks to Sawa-sensei.
The worst part is that his teacher knew. He even talked to the bullies about it. But all he said was, don't overdo it. But afterward, the public eviscerated him. He had to quit his teaching job.
Hold on. If he was dismissed,
You figure something out?
the homeroom teacher at the time of the incident did take some flack. He got forced out of teaching.
Yeah? What of it?
If that's the case, couldn't this teacher in the yearbook just be filling in for the other one?
I see. That definitely sounds likely. Let me search for the original teacher's name. There's a chance he won't be the same guy in the yearbook. Just give me a sec.
What the?
Oh, damn it. I hit the wrong button. Too much playing
Yagamishi, I found it.
emulators.
The name of Mitsuru Kusamoto's former homeroom teacher. You were right. It wasn't the same teacher in the yearbook. This one's name is Yu Kitakata.
Kitakata?
Huh? Don't tell me that's...
His real name's Kitakata. Ring any bells?
That's Kawana's real name. Soma said it to me once.
So, Kuwana-san was the original homeroom teacher?
I just found a picture. This is Kitakata-sensei from 13 years ago.
It's Kawana.
That's him, all right.
Yeah. Not only that, Sawa-sensei was part of this class, which makes Kawana her homeroom teacher too. This is the link we've been looking for.
Everything is clicked into place. Kawana-san was the linchpin of this case.
So, 13 years ago, Yu Kitakata left teaching behind after Mitsuru-kun's incident, and became Kawana the handyman. That's what made him turn to his uncle at Siren for help. He told me Kawana tried really hard to make it in the underground. Had some good reason for it.
For living a life in the shadows? What could that have been?
Kawana stopped teaching because of his attempted suicide. What was he after when he went underground?
To get revenge on the bullies. Maybe Kawana blames the fact that he had to quit teaching on the bullies who caused it to happen. Then, maybe all his hatred got aimed at Shinya Kawai?
Possible. He was abducted 5 years ago by individuals thought to be his acquaintances.
You think one of them was Kuwana-san?
I wouldn't rule it out. RK might have learned of Kawana's involvement while searching for Kawai. Maybe they came to a Gene show so they could get details on the incident from him?
Yes, that would explain RK's arrival in town as well.
Hold up. Individuals who were his acquaintances? Meaning more people besides Kuwana-san, right? Could that mean...
You got it.
They knew Kawai. Somehow, the evidence we've gathered so far should give us a clue.
Check this out. The people in this were Kawai's acquaintances, right? Or Kawana's former students, in other words.
Everyone, though? A few too many, don't you think?
You're probably right. Guess I should narrow them down.
Was abducted 5 years ago. So we got so far. It's a clue.
We already know this.
Oh. The students in the video?
Individuals acquainted with Kawhi. They certainly fit the bill.
But why would they wind up abducting him?
Huh. Maybe Kawana asked for their help? No. He forced them to.
What makes you say that?
Well, Kawana had this on a secret flash drive, right? But to anyone in this video, it would be their worst nightmare for it to show up now. If it did, they'd be busted as bullies who drove a high school kid to suicide.
Yep, it'd be a real disaster for them if that got out. They'd probably be done for in the public eye.
Which means this video is Kawana's leverage. It's how he got them to go after Kawhi.
You think this is enough leverage to drive people to murder, though? Kawhi was killed, right?
RK is the only one saying Kawhi was murdered. No body's been recovered yet either.
Okay, hang on. I'm barely keeping up with this.
Yeah, it's a bunch of what-ifs stacked on top of each other. But there is somebody who could potentially confirm this.
Who'd that be?
Someone in the video. Mommy, for example. I've met with her at her home. If she was involved with Kawhi's abduction, she could probably tell us what we want to know.
I agree. Yamishi's provided a working theory that ties together the Kamurocho and Ijincho incidents. So if we can get Yui Mamiya to corroborate this, we should be able to extract even more information from her. Perhaps even including Kawana-san's whereabouts.
Yeah. Looks like he hasn't given us the slip just yet.
Man, what the hell is that guy's deal?
Mikoshiba and Sawa-sensei's murders, Ihara's alibi, Kawhi's disappearance. Kawana's most likely tied to everything. We'll get all the answers we need if we can find him.
And I guess this is bringing us that much closer?
Hopefully. I should go see Yui Mamiya tomorrow.
You should accompany him, Sugiurashi. Considering we seem to be kicking the investigation into high gear. With Kaito-san out of commission, I'm sure Yagamishi could use a helping hand. I'll be fine right here.
Your call, Tsukumo-kun. I'm cool with whatever.
Thanks for lending him out, Tsukumo. I'll make sure he comes back in one piece.
Hey, don't underestimate him as a party member. He can hold his own if you let him.
Look who it is. Who's a good boy?
Need to check. Oh.
You know how they say your life flashes before your eyes when you're dying? That shit's real talk.
Saw it all, huh?
Yeah. There I am, bleeding out. And suddenly I'm getting the 3rd degree from Matsugane-san. Back when I was still just a rookie. Captain Hamura stares me down like, time to lose that pinky. And then, Higashi starts crying for me. Oh, if I'm gonna go, I ought to get a better final scene than that shit, right? Right?
I'm sure it'll be rosier when the time comes for real. Glad you pulled through, man.
That bastard Soma, though. Next time, he's fucked. We could have avenged Sawa-sensei if it weren't for that stupid ambush.
Well, you didn't tell the cops about him, did you?
Had to give the cops a statement, so I did. With a generous side of bullshit.
That'll get you busted, you know.
I'm joking. All I said was the truth. That I got knifed by the same twisted fuck who got Sawa-sensei.
In that case, it's only a matter of time until Soma's arrested. So for now, we'll go after Kuwana, the piece that ties it all together. We just have to find him before RK does.
Kuwana, huh? He's on my shit list too, just so you know.
Huh?
Kuwana must have had some sort of agenda back when he first met us. In fact, it's probably because you were looking into Mikoshiba. He palled around with me all because of that. I'm just a sucker of the agency, huh?
I wouldn't say that.
Still. The moment an ass for me to kick turns up, this is the shape I'm in.
Just focus on getting better. Tsukuma will stop by later, too.
What? Sugiura gonna give me the cold shoulder?
He and I are off to question Mamiya. He said he'd drive us from Ijincho and everything.
I should head back to Yokohama 99. I'm sure Shakira has a car ready by now. It's daytime. Know what that means.
Here we go.
There's still a signal here. Yep, this single's gotta be for peeking up skirts. Okay. I'm gonna continue the school stories if I can.
Yagami-san.
Ready, Yagami-san? My bad. This is
Yes.
Alright, let me see. Let me upgrade my skills. Let me see.
Yagami-san.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to go. Well done. let's look back on each incident the MRC investigated so we can hopefully gain a better perspective. In the dance club, Mai Eika Tanahashi got into her sugar baby gigs through the professor message board. This was what led us to discover the actual site on the dark web. Students post on the site by using an exclusive browser and register by using their student IDs.
In other words,
As such, we've come to the conclusion that the professor has a very advanced knowledge of computer networking and programming.
Yeah.
That, or he's got someone on his crew with the knowledge.
now that you mention it,
As for Takanashi-san's motive for becoming a sugar baby, that was a rather unexpected development.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person who Takanashi went through all that effort for was... Kotoko Itakura. Last semester, Itakura was the chairman of the Cultural Festival Committee. Takanashi was a member of that committee too.
But
The other members got sick of Itakura's poor attitude and eventually began ignoring her. By the end of it, everyone had turned their backs on her.
yes.
That had to have been rough. At any rate, the result was a colossal failure of the cultural festival, and Itakura-san hasn't been seen in class ever since. Thus, the identity of the dance of Sugar Baby was revealed, but the case didn't end there. Someone by the username of Dancing Buddy posted a request for physical assault of Norizuki-san, captain of a rival dance troupe. And the person who requested the hit turned out to be a bit of a surprise to us.
yeah.
The true identity of the poster was of the attack on Yuri Norizuki is... Yep. It was the dance club advisor, Komekado. He used Nishizono's Dancing Bunny account to make the request. Except, according to Sakakiba, the professor actually never granted the request despite the generous offer from Komekado. What we can deduce from this is that the professor's motive behind his machinations are not exactly monetary in nature. That does make me wonder what the professor's criteria is for selecting posts.
What the?
The Robotics Club. I nosed around there after reports of robot cut purchases in the city. As a result, we discovered that the thieving robot designer was... Yep. Kuramazaki-kun. To be honest, I had suspected Otakawa-kun. It's a shame I misjudged the truth. Luckily, we were able to get our hands on something juicy at the lab. A key piece of evidence that points towards the professor's motive behind investigating all this criminal behavior. That would be the copies of the email correspondence with the professor, which we found on the lab's laptop. The professor was explicitly plotting with the Neo-Kahen gang to turn Kuramazaki-kun and the 7 other specific students to the wrong side of the law.
In other words,
So, 8 students total. We still don't know why he chose them. But I believe finding that out will be the key to discovering the professor's identity.
Uh-huh. What the?
The leader of Maiden had been Yuma Sao. He went from the disciplinary committee to a biker gang practically overnight.
yes.
It turned out that Salcon's mother had forbade him from participating in motocross, so he was doing what he could to suppress that desire of his while still having an outlet for it. Right, and the professor picked up on that jealousy and he exploited it, so he exploited it by manipulating Sal through certain means. Apparently, he was tipped off by a letter found in the committee's suggestion box from a Professor M. Pretty safe to say that's the professor.
Mm-hmm.
This was supported by the fact that the letter was dropped off directly in the committee's suggestion box. Since it's located on campus, I find it highly likely that the professor attends or works at our school.
Yagami-san.
We mustn't forget, though, there was one more key figure in the case. An individual connected to the Neo-Kahen gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be... Dan Murasaki, aka Ghost. He's the younger brother of the legendary gang founder Meiji Murasaki. Dan's goal was to rise to the top of the Injinko underworld so he could step out from his brother's shadow and make a name for himself. Koga, the Neo-Kahen gang leader, took notice of him and used his ambition for their own gang. They were trying to make up for their lack of heavy hitters by making Dan Murasaki the rep of Maiden Heaven and recruiting him into the Neo-Kahen gang.
Now that you mention it,
This Koga must have wanted to win the professor's favor, given how he thought of this as a sort of offering to the professor.
Hey.
The Todoroki boxing gym. This is the payback boxer case. Some last kid kept fighting fights with martial arts experts and other rough and tumble types out on the streets. And in the end, we figured out who he really was. It was Kenya Oshikiri. He's a former karate club member who turned out to be the wonder kind of Todoroki's gym. In fact, we even have evidence of Oshikiri's motive. Oshikiri only entered the Genbukai to try and overcome the fear of his father, Fudo. Problem is, he found out that his fights were fixed in his favor. His champion status was a setup for the showrunners to line their pockets.
In other words,
And he learned it from the professor, who sent him all the evidence he needed to see the truth for himself.
which means
As to the question, why would the professor reveal his own hand like that?
in other words,
And this news of Max match-fixing leaked to the public, people would stop betting. The Genbuka racket was done for. We can at least assume that the money is not the motive.
if I have this right,
Looks like the professor's motive is a major key to solving this case. Shinunsoke Shikishima, leader of the Anjinko Hounds, a local skateboarding community. He's also the culprit responsible for drawing the graffiti art that suddenly appeared on the walls of Serio. The professor just so happened to be the motive of that graffiti.
Yeah.
Shigashima received a direct request from the professor via the website's private messaging system. That was what led him to tag the school. Graffiti's the perfect blend of crime and art.
Hey.
Kanto Hikagawa, former president of the photography club. He'd been blackmailing Sega Sensei to save up for his college tuition. Thanks to the professor's website, Akawa-kun found out Saga Sensei was having an affair. The professor supposedly reached out to Akawa-kun to make first contact rather than vice versa.
In other words,
Which means Hikawa was one of the professor's targets.
suspicious.
Genya Sambamatsu, the head of Saruhai Esports Club, he cheated in competitions with a tool-assisted joystick.
Yes.
He seems to have acquired this program in his joystick from the professor, and it's apparently too advanced for any normal high school student to have developed it.
In other words,
Which would mean the professor has unusually high technical skills. Kahu Hayakawa, a female student in the board game club. She started going to an underground casino here in town looking for thrills. Since minors aren't usually allowed in casinos, Hayakawa got access by borrowing her brother's membership card. She even impersonated her brother whenever she went to gamble.
but
In the end, though, we learned she had nothing to do with the professor.
Excuse me.
Since her case won't contribute anything to her work on the professor, I'll go ahead and exclude it from our list. Emily S. Mochizuki, popular employee of the girls' bar Girls Bite. Kazuna Hashira, a third year at Serio, lied about his age and frequently visited her along with members of the Neo-Kahan gang. Ashikira-kun supposedly joined the Neo-Kahan gang thanks to his senpai.
yeah.
That was the unique part of this case. Ashihara had no contact whatsoever with the professor.
Wait a minute.
In other words, he wasn't one of the professor's targets for delinquency. However, Ashikira-kun happened to overhear some key info about the professor while he was at the Neo-Kahan gang's hideout. Yeah, when Koma hung up after a certain phone call, he muttered something to himself. Ha! The wireless bell, that's hilarious. That brat. Supposedly, that's what Ashihara heard Koga say. The fact that he said brat must mean the professor's quite younger than Koga. He's most likely around 40, so we can expect the professor to be his teens, maybe early 20s.
Suspicious.
Something the matter, Yagami-san? Let's go over the case already. Okay, let's do it. Gather up all the cases on the whiteboard. Let's review the ones that strike you as curious first. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. alright. We've gone through all the information we have so far. The biggest thing we still don't know is the professor's motive behind selecting those 8 specific students to lead astray.
Yeah.
Out of the 8, we know one person for absolute certain, Kurumazaki-kun in the Robotics Club.
Yes.
Correct. Now, if we include the 6 individuals we know who were directly approached by the professor,
In other words,
we're up to 7.
Hmm.
One more person left.
which means
Assuming our theory is correct, there should be one student remaining who was led astray by the professor.
Yeah.
Who could it be? Maybe the student's actually been involved in illegal. Maybe the student's been involved in illegal activity the whole time. We just haven't caught wind of it yet.
yes.
Perhaps you're right. We must figure out who our last individual is as soon as possible. From Kento.
Kento.
Hello? What is it, Kento? Oh, sis, thank God. Where are you right now? At HQ with Yagami-san. Yagami-san's with you? Perfect. I'm actually at the Popo in front of the station right now, and I've got a bit of a situation.
Hey.
What's wrong? Well, hey, you little bastard. Ah, crap. Kento? Sorry, call you right back.
Hey.
What? What was that? Everything alright?
No.
I'm not sure, but sounds like Kento's in some kind of trouble. That's not good. Where is he? He said he's at the Popo in front of the station. Come on, let's go. Oh, okay.
I'm coming with you. That way?
Oof. That was a long thing. I'm surprised I got that already. I guess I do pay attention to what happens in these games.
Keep going.
Here we go.
Really, guys?
I'm coming with you. Yagami-san, you're going too fast.
Why is this always chat? And stay down.
That way?
Okay. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back. Do, 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 do. Okay, I'm actually gonna catch some breakfast, so I'm gonna end the video here rather than have a long break. It's almost an hour, so I think that's okay. Have a good day. Have a good day. Be easy. And thanks for watching.